Greetings. In May of 2023, during a camping trip to Shakamak State Park, my wife and I visited the Waapaahsiki Siipiiwi Mound Historical Park. The park is located about 2 miles west of Indiana State Road 63 in Sullivan County, about 2 miles southwest of the village of Fairbanks, Indiana. It is on the south side of the road, left if going west. The Wabash River is about 1/2 mile to the west, but not visible from the park. This is a nice, well-maintained park with many animals and other carved figures that are carved in wood. The animals include bear, buffalo, eagle, and various other creatures. There are carved Amerindian figures here, as well as a huge totem pole in the centerpiece near the entrance to the park. I'll mention these figures first, as they form the first impressions of the park, which is favorable. As we parked on one of the mounds, one of the mounds at the park is visible near the parking lot. It rises about 20 to 30 feet above the surrounding countryside. It is grassy and well mowed with a bark path leading to the top of the mound. We walked to the top and stood admiring the view from the apex. There is a second mound on the other side of the road, just a short distance away. A well-maintained path leads to and around it. There is also a path leading all around the main mound, which we also walked around. There are a couple of structures here, a pavilion that would serve as a great spot for a picnic. The shelter may be reserved for events such as search for the Waapaahsiki Siipiiwi Mound on Historical Park on Facebook for their page, where you can message them. A ceremonial ring with a structure in the center occupies a field to the south. There is no charge to visit the park or reserve the structure. However, there is a donation box near the entrance. You can deposit deposit a donation. I will place a link to the Waapaahsiki Siipiiwi Mound in both the podcast description and the YouTube version of this podcast. Interested listeners that want to see photos of the site can visit the Mossy Feet Books YouTube channel. The name, and I know I'm murdering the pronunciation on this, Waapaahsiki translates from the Miami language as, quote, the reflective waters of the Wabash River, unquote. The Indiana-Michigan Power Company owns the site. The Indiana State Senator John Waterman, along with the Sullivan County American Indian Council, contacted the company with the concept of preserving the site in 2007. The anthropology department at Indiana University was contacted and arranged to have a long-term study conducted at the site to determine its historical significance. An archaeological dig took place at the site during the 2010-2011 season, where numerous artifacts were found. Archaeologists believe the mounds were constructed during the late woodland period that lasted from 500 to about 1600 AD. It's an interesting, peaceful place to visit where you can ponder the people that lived there and how they lived. You can find information about this site, as well as many other, in my book, Shakamak State Park and the Southwest Indiana Road Trips. You can find these books on my website, www.mossyfeetbooks.com. There are links to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Apple, as well as other online booksellers. You can also purchase the book direct from me. Residents of southeastern Indiana can find a large selection of my books at the Walnut Street Variety Shop on George Street in downtown Batesville, Indiana. I hope you enjoyed this podcast.